Hey, this is Fred, your found footage fiend, with my latest review for FoundFootageCritic.com, home of the world's largest database of found footage films. You can also check out our other reviews at FoundFootageCritic.com. And don't forget to check out POV Horror, the world's only VOD streaming service 100% dedicated to found footage films. They're available on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Android Mobile and iOS. So visit POVHorror.com for more information. Alright minions, today we're going to review Followed, a found footage film from 2020, written by Todd Click and directed by Antoine Lay, which I believe is his first feature film. And it is produced by Viscape Arts in association with Brandon Pictures Entertainment. The film stars Matthew Solomon as Drop the Mic controversial vlogger. We also have Tim Dreyer, who plays Chris, his director of photography. We have Sam Valentine, plays Danny. She does the third camera and audio. We have Caitlin Grace, plays Nick. She does the editing of like his vlogs and everything. And we also have probably the most notable actor in the movie, John Savage. He was in The Deer Hunter. And last but not least, we have Kelly Griswold, who plays Jess, Drop the Mic's girlfriend in the movie. Now, the story follows controversial vlogger Drop the Mic, who is offered a sponsorship by Hot Gothic for $250,000 that if he can get about 50K subs, then they're going to hook him up, man. And I completely get that. So what he does is he reaches out to his viewers and he asks them, hey, where do you want me to go for Halloween weekend? What do you want me to go check out? Which site? Because, he tends to visit these either haunted places, things like that. And they all unanimously send him to the Lenox Hotel, which is actually based off a real life hotel called the Cecil Hotel. And we'll get into that a little bit. But once he gets there and he performs an urban legend called the Elevator Game Ritual, things start to go pretty bad for Drop the Mic vlogger here. So the entire movie is told through a screencast narrative. You essentially we're just looking at the screen, somebody's logging into their some type of YouTube vlog, some type of website like that, and they're also skimming through what looks like articles about this vlogger named Drop the Mic, that he essentially went missing after Halloween night, and he hasn't been found since. And this is where I feel like it's just so done. It's just done so freaking well, in my opinion. Because it takes the whole just found footage aspect and just turns it up. It's more modern, if you will. It's a more up-to-date found footage than somebody just holding a handheld camera. Because we're essentially watching these vlogs that were edited and put out. So there's going to be music in them. There's going to be stock audio and stock sound effects. And normally, that would be a ding. Normally, if there's music and it's not natural to the movie, if it's just somebody just like a montage and there's just music in there all of a sudden, I get it. But this is a pass. This is where I feel like people will hear, oh, there's music? What? But no, dude, it's very well done because we're watching essentially a vlog. The movie is played out through a series of vlogs of Drop the Mic and his journey from getting the sponsorship all the way to day 1, 2, and what apparently was the missing day in the vlog that was never uploaded until now. Now, this film has great social commentary because it's loosely based off a lot of big controversial vloggers. Biggest one of them is going to be Logan Paul. This is basically, obviously, almost a central ripoff of how he talks to his viewers and everything. There was 2 lines in the movie that didn't sit well with me, but we'll go back into that. But what are you willing to do for that sponsorship? What are you willing to do for those views? What are you willing to do for the clout, essentially? And this is portrayed very well in this movie as one man's just obsession to get this sponsorship, and he puts his wife and his friends all at risk in doing so. But I mean, for $250,000? And now let's get to the Lenox Hotel. One thing I absolutely loved that this movie did was make use of this unfortunately tragic building. There's a lot. It's known for a lot of suicides, deaths. It inspired, or not inspired, but it was the location for American Horror Story, the hotel season. It was known that Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. I'm sorry. They bring up somebody that's obviously referring to Richard Ramirez, and they call him the Nightcrawler in the movie, so it's just stuck in my head. But they bring up Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, that he lived in this, or not lived, but it was like his base of operations. He did satanic rituals there. There's also another serial killer I haven't heard of called Jack Erderwerger. And last but not least, This building is where the video footage of, if you haven't seen, I'm sure you've seen it there a long time ago. There was this video footage of this girl in an elevator, and she was acting very weird. It was like almost like she was like, something was like waiting for her outside. She was like pushing buttons, and her body eventually she went missing, and her body was found on top of a water tank, which is pretty crazy, at this hotel. And they use just about every ghost in this movie is based off of a murder or a suicide in this movie, and I absolutely love it. It's so fucking unique in that way. But I'd rather go for my dislikes, because as much as I really, really enjoyed this movie, I just had to nitpick at just a very few little things. There's a few times where the camera will have this kind of glitch, kind of static effect, and I can understand why. It's most likely some type of paranormal interference messing with the camera, something like that. You get what I'm saying? But personally, for me, I just don't buy it. I can do without that effect. Now, drop the mic. Matthew Solomon, however, drop the mic. First time I watched this movie, I absolutely hated this guy. Not gonna lie. And it's mostly because there was two things that he said in the movie that did not sit well with me at all. And even though I know it's a movie, but after doing a little research, I could understand like these lines in the movie are not represented by the character or the actor at all. But okay, so there's two lines in the movie. The first one is when he's talking about his director of photography, Chris, and he's introducing him, and he says, DP is director of photography for all you idiots out there. I'm like, dude, really? And there's another part where he's kissing his girlfriend goodbye. You know, they're all saying, you know, kiss her, this and that. And he gives her a nice little kiss. And he walks up to the camera and he goes, just a little taste for all of you out there that can't get any action, which is probably just most of all of you. And again, I was just cringe. But after multiple viewings and doing a little research, I understand why they're just portraying some type, like I said, he's based off of, you know, these big vloggers, controversial vloggers like Logan Paul. Like hell, the opening clip is him at the Pasadena Suicide Bridge. And this is how insensitive he can be. The music in the background is like this happy-go-lucky, yeah, just jump the bridge. And it's all about this suicide bridge where like there's a number of cases of people dying. And he's just the whole time just giving facts, all just in a positive mood. Just shows you a little what type of person he is. And that's really it. I have little to no complaints about this movie. You know, my likes are just the narrative of its way it's told. I thought it was very unique how we're watching this series of vlogs that were uploaded originally because he brings his editor on board so that she can edit and upload them as the night goes on, and people are just always keeping in touch with him. As well as, like I said, the way they use, you know, the history of the building and actual plays. You know, it's some messed up building right now that's currently like on Skid Row, which is known to have like drug dealers and all kinds of stuff going around. And there's even like a drug dealer like physical like part where they incidentally capture a drug deal, and this plays on later on in the movie because this guy, he's like, the drug dealer comes back and he's like the physical danger in the movie. We have like the supernatural danger in the movie, of course, but then I love that they add this like physical type of like, and like, you know, real stuff can happen to you too. So with that being said, some of my favorite scenes are just essentially all the scenes with Drop the Mic and his friends when he's not in character, because they show a lot of camaraderie with each other. They're always laughing, they're playing pranks on one another. They just mesh really well, and I absolutely love it. It felt genuine to me. Another scene that I like is also based off a suicide or a murder. I believe it's a suicide that happened there, but there's a scene where Chris, he's like walking in the hallway, the lights turn out and they kind of have like this red glow, and he's looking at the end of the hallway and there's this person just slowly creeping up, and then all of a sudden you see them stand up and their head just rolls back off of their fucking body, and it just fucking was done very well. So overall, Followed is a unique, well thought out story with a great screencast narrative, believable acting, great use of a tragic history that was the Cecil Hotel, and I believe from beginning to end, it's absolutely a fun watch. All right, rating times. We got 6 criterias here. Reason for filming, I'm going to give this a 9.5. He's a vlogger. He even states it. They even give him shit for continuously filming, and he even says, you know, we'll edit it out later. He needs B-roll. I can understand why. Believable cinematography. I'm going to give this a 9. So they did have to set up a lot of shots when they were either interviewing certain people, but that wasn't too much. A lot of it did felt genuine, natural. There's a lot of parts where they were running and it was not in frame or anything. Overall, was never once in disbelief about that. Found footage purity. This is probably the lowest rating I'm gonna give this out of this whole criteria set, but it's not even that low. I'm gonna give this an 8. The music didn't bother me at all. I'm not even gonna ding it for that because it does feel natural. Like I said, it's a vlog. We're watching vlogs, and vlogs essentially always have music in them. But where I'm gonna ding it on are the little glitch / static effects. I said why. I get it, and there might be some type of paranormal presence kind of interfering with that technology, but I don't buy it. Believable acting. I'm going to give this a 9. There was maybe 1 or 2 characters towards the middle or the end of the movie that felt a little flat, a little bland, but it wasn't too distracting at all. Realism and immersion. I'm going to give this a 9.5 due to its narrative. I love the screencast type of story. I love the vlogs. It's just like we're watching some type of vlogs that were uploaded on a Facebook or some type of social media site like that. And last but not least, I'm going to give the plot rating a whopping 10. Yep, 10. It's unique to me. I love that. The biggest reason I would say is the use of the history and the hotel. I thought that was very clever on its own. And to use the ghosts, like I said, each one of the ghosts we see is based, unfortunately, I don't know if it's exploitation, found footage or what, but it's based on either a suicide or a death in the movie. It really all ties into with the character. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I absolutely love the story, and that's why I'm giving it that, as well as clever writing, averaging out my whole entire score for a 9.1. Alrighty, everybody. So please be sure to visit foundfootagecritic.com for the latest news and reviews. Foundfootagecritic.com is also home of the world's largest and most complete found footage film database, with over 1,000 films in the catalog. And POV Horror is the world's only VOD streaming service 100% dedicated to found footage films. They have the distribution rights to over 300 found footage films. They own the exclusive rights to almost 50 found footage films. There is an annual and monthly subscription fee, new movies every Sunday, and they're available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, Roku, Android TV, Android Mobile, and Chromecast, as well as iOS. So please be sure to visit povhorror.com for more information. And a special thank you to Vito Marchese, who wrote our opening and closing theme song, Leave This Place With Me, performed by K-Less Clone. So with that being said, have a great day, everybody, and happy spookies!